phone conversation between Noah Taylor and Tamara Collins, Pine Top Post Office.
Thank you for calling the Pine Top Post Office. This is Tamara. Can I help you?
Hey, Tamara, this is Noah Taylor. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm well. I was just calling to see if you guys have you spoke to Penny, the lady that came in and did the test?
No, not at all.
Okay, what was the day that she came in?
What was the date? Yesterday.
Yesterday? Okay, do you know what time she was in?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Has she gone over any of the test results or anything like that with you guys?
No, not at all.
Okay, all right. And who is the owner of the property?
There's two property owners, but I can't give that out. You would have to get that through whoever.
Yeah, whoever contracted me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good, bad, or indifferent? Have you gotten anything?
Yeah, there's definitely asbestos in the floors, in two layers of those floors. So you guys definitely have asbestos. Were you aware of that?
Yeah, we've known. I mean, they do an asbestos study, so I knew that it was in, and everybody that's worked here has known it's been in the floors. It's generally in the floors when they're built so old like this.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys were aware of that. Were you aware that it's a potential hazard?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You were. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so in all of your employees are aware of that they were exposed on the job to this?
Because they work in floors. But if it's not, like, exposed, like it's not torn up.
That's not true. That's not true. In fact, there was breaking in the tiles, and that's why we ran an air quality test on there. So, I mean, if you guys were aware of this, somebody's responsible for it.
It's not torn up.
That's not true. That's not true. In fact, there was breaking in the tiles, and that's why we ran an air quality test on there. So, I mean, if you guys were aware of this, somebody's responsible for it. And I just wanted to let you guys know so that you can get out ahead of it and make sure that everybody knows, especially your employees or the public.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it has. We have the report here in the office, and everybody knows the floors contain asbestos. But what did the air sampling come back at?
We haven't gotten the results back. They're in the mail. So whenever we find that out, how long ago did they do a sampling on it?
I don't know. They have a whole report here. They've done wall sampling. They did all that years ago. Every post office has to have it done. So I have an asbestos report here. So we already knew, but I mean, you guys need to do your part to check on your part. You know, you guys can't go with like our stuff. So.
Oh, I'm aware. Yeah. I get hired to do a job, and if I go in and clean that up and it's getting swept under the rug. No, listen. Yeah, if I go in and do my job and it's getting swept under the rug, then that goes on my company's name, my ROC license number, and everything else. So I don't really care about anything else. I want to make sure that the public is protected, your employees are protected, and that everybody's being upfront and open about this. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So. Okay, all right, and I'm sorry, what is your last name, Tamara? Clemens? Mm-hmm. All right, cool. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You have a good day, sir.
All right, bye-bye. Recording of Noah Taylor and Chris Swan's conversation.
I help you?
Hey, Chris, this is Noah Taylor out in Arizona.
Yes.
I was wondering if you guys were able to receive my email. Did you get that? The following email was written to Chris Swan. This was prior to receiving a second opinion from a more reputable company than Evergreen. I have evidence to support that Penny with Evergreen Environmental dropped the ball on the job. I have a tape recording additional to all of these that I will drop at a future date, as well as clear negligence on the job of things that she did not do properly. Every other environmental company that I called had nothing but bad things to say about Penny, and they agreed with me that if there was broken tiles, it puts asbestos in the air. They are third-party neutral witnesses and expert witnesses that this is in fact true. This is also supported with the last recording you will hear from Colin Collins with the Arizona Department of Air Quality when he instructs the post office to put a piece of duct tape over one of the slipping tiles, but then minimizes the rest of it. If one of them needs to do it, the whole thing needs to go.
Yes, I sent it on to the CRM. They've been talking about it. What I needed to find out, and I tried to call MCOR, and I couldn't get much information from them.
The facility,
Weston was the one that Kathleen sent out. Who hired you to go out there and look at that?
Well, the first time it was National Facilities Direct, I believe, and the guy's name was Christopher Bynum. I have a phone call from whoever their authorization lady is that said that she was the one that declined the asbestos removal because of her client didn't want to go forward with it. And
was that Kathleen Sikowski?
No, I don't know her name. I have it written down. I would have to get that for you. It's whoever's with National Facilities Direct.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because Kathleen Sikowski, she's the one that would have denied it internally and then sent it to Weston. Weston is who I was thinking may have been the one to go through National Facilities Direct to get you out there.
Yeah.
But I need to pin down who, because this is really new for me.
Yeah.
Normally, whenever we get a call, we have a list of contractors that the calls go out to, but I'm just having a hard time tracking down, and not just me, the CRM and everybody. We're just all trying to figure out who actually sent you out there so that we can contact them to see.
Well, they called me. They called me right after, about an hour after you and I spoke, maybe not even, and they were all frantic, and they were like, did you get paid for this job? And they were playing dumb, basically. And I was like, you guys know you paid me for this job. And I was like, you guys sent me out there. You never responded back when I gave a bid on the job and told you guys everything that you needed to do. And then basically the lady's like, well, yeah, I'm the one that does the approval. Our client didn't want to do it, meaning either you or the property owner, or you guys are the property owner. And I said, oh, okay. And she said, why are you doing this? I said, so that you don't send another maintenance company like myself, I'm a local, to go up there and remove asbestos and not tell them it's asbestos, and it is.
See, they did, because I looked at the call. Whenever the postmaster called the call in, the initial call, so whoever sent you is the one that didn't notify you if you didn't get an email, because on the call that goes out, it says asbestos flooring. So whenever the call was called in by the postmaster, I can't remember her name. I spoke with her yesterday. The one that you sent me the voicemail of.
Yeah.
She called that in as an asbestos call. So she notified everybody when it was called in. So whoever didn't notify you is who we really need to get in contact with, because they're supposed to send you that email to where you can see everything. You can see it shows asbestos call, and you know exactly what to do.
Well, I know this. I know that when I talked to Tamra, who's the manager from the post office, she didn't say anything about asbestos until I brought it up. Meaning, and then she acknowledged that you heard the voicemail. She knew all about it.
Yeah, she called it in.
And the facilities maintenance company, I mean, you know, they're an extension of your company, you know. So to be honest with you, the only company that did anything the right way was my company when we went in there and said, hey, and then I got taken off of the job and nobody called me back. And
National Facilities Direct took you off the job?
The company that called me the first time they did. The company that called me the second time, it says Peak 360. I think they're an extension of National Facilities Direct, though, and his name was Japhet Mayorga. I put all that in my email. So, but yeah, basically, here's my concern is making sure nobody else goes in there and does this. The other maintenance company, whoever's been working on that, okay? I have the pictures too from when I bid it, because the floorboards, they're like the ones in schools, like those rubber like ones that they go in schools with the glue. And it's the same exact glue that you use for VCT. I mean, you use the same stuff to install those baseboards. And I'm positive it was done at the same time, so they used the same stuff. I have pictures of that where it was ripping off the wall, and I had it in my hands. It's breaking up, everything else. So, like, I got exposed to it. Whoever this other company did too, you know. And man, I got kids. I got a wife, I got a business, you know what I mean? I just need to know, like, where we're going with this. Like, you know, I don't want to have to go drag stuff out in court and bring it to the news. As long as I get assurances that it will be taken care of the proper way, and you guys will look after.
It's already being taken care of. We've sent it to Weston. They're a third-party oversight that handles nothing but asbestos. The call has been with them for a month. That's what I'm wondering, like, how you even got involved, because this is with Weston right now.
They called me as a contractor.
Asbestos contractor, so
yeah.
everyone's on it.
They called me as a contractor in Arizona to go do this twice.
Well, I mean, as far as if you're concerned on if it's being handled properly, it's with them right now. So they're definitely handling it right. They haven't even started any work yet. They're still drawing up the asbestos quote. Like, it's a huge work plan that has to be put together by a third party in order to do the work, and they're working on that. They've been working on it.
They hired me to do all that, and they stopped talking to me when I notified the authorities, just to let you know. And that was Japhet Mayorga. That's why I ran those tests. That's why everything happened. I even had an abatement team lined up to go in. They were going on site to start bidding the job. I had a...
Okay, you said you had an abatement team lined up?
Yeah.
Abatement is for asbestos, so you did know it was asbestos when you went out there. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had an abatement team?
That was after I went out there. That was after I notified them.
Okay, so this was the second time?
Yeah, the second time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Listen, man. Okay, so I'm gonna end. You guys, we're on the clock here because I need to go make sure that nobody else goes in there. I need, I need to protect my company's interests and everything else. I wanted to see where you guys were at. I mean,
don't go in there anymore, and your interest is protected. And as far as worrying about other people going in, there's
if you've been exposed to asbestos, you guys are liable. And I have it on record.
Okay,
so
well, it was called in as an asbestos flooring job. And
I never received, and I have every bit of paperwork that I received both times.
I'm literally looking at the call in the system right now. It says asbestos flooring. It was called in as asbestos flooring.
What was the date on that?
Let's see. This one was in July.
Yeah, that's after I let them know. I went in June.
The initial call. You would have never been out there. That was the very first call.
No, buddy. I went out there in June and let them know that it was asbestos. And you guys had an asbestos report for several years, according to Tamra.
We do. We've had an asbestos report for
Right.
20 or 30 years up there.
Right. So you just told me it was July, and that's because I said something. So you just implicated yourself.
Every post office in America has an asbestos survey done. Every office, not just this one.
Correct.
Every office.
But you just said that it was sent out in July. Okay. When I was sent out, it was June. So that means you guys sent me out. You just acknowledged that you already knew about asbestos, and you didn't start acknowledging it publicly on the work order until July. Do you realize what you just did? And I have you recorded. So you guys get together.
Is that not illegal to record me?
No, not in the state of Arizona.
That's...
This call is being recorded for quality assurance purposes. So, hey, go ahead and get back to me, guys. You let me know. I got you on record now, just basically saying the same thing that everybody else did. So let me know what you guys want to do.
That's the ETK report.
You guys have a good day. Bye-bye. After this phone conversation, within a couple of days, I had a conversation with Colin Collins, who assured me that they were taking care of this problem. I got a hold of local government in Pine Top. I basically ruffled some tail feathers, got everybody to finally listen, and then they got me in line with a guy named Cameron Collins, and that's who represents the Arizona Department of Air Quality. The following recording, you'll hear him minimize what's going on at the Pine Top Post Office, trying to support the post office's position, but then acknowledging on tape that he told them to put a piece of tape over the shifting tiles, meaning he understood that it was an issue and that this was dangerous for the public because there was tile shifting, putting asbestos into the air. That means whatever is going on, this is larger than we realize. There's more people involved with actively trying to protect the interest of the post office or the town or whatever's going on, and suppressing this information from getting out. In fact, when all this was done, I had told Cameron Collins everything that happened. He assured me that he was taking care of it and that they were going to get the facility shut down and that they were going to protect the public. At that time, I stopped. I walked away. I never heard back from the post office after I sent the email saying that I wanted to proceed with some type of arbitration. Never heard anything again. In fact, I laid it down for almost 9 months, or actually 9 months, until August, basically. And in August, I received a weird phone call from somebody pretending to be a real estate investor, asking my company to come in and do the floors and remove the asbestos and everything else, just like the previous 2 times that it happened. I was so frustrated that they were calling me back again, that they still hadn't taken care of this issue. I was frustrated. I told them what happened. I told them the truth on everything that happened. But what's weird is the person who called me pretended to be like a neutral party that had nothing to do with this. But then when they spoke to me on the phone, they started trying to imply ownership of whoever was responsible for this. They were shirking all the responsibility onto the property owner. And if this was actually somebody who was neutral and a third party that had no vested interest in seeing who was to blame or anything like that, they wouldn't have been saying all of that. But she intentionally tried to lead me into who a responsible party was. I shelved it for like another month and a half, 2 months, because we were traveling. My wife is pregnant. We've had a lot of issues going on. And then I got prompted just by an unction to go look again and see what was going on. This was right after September 16th. And they told the public, according to Warren at the Pine Top newspaper, that they were fixing some kind of flood damage or something to the post office. So their official story was this was flood damage. They were closing the Pine Top post office down to fix this. And it was within about 2 months of that woman calling me on the phone, and I said, I don't have time for this. I've tried to do this several times, and I had walked away. So she was basically kicking the tires to see if I was out of the way so that they could go fix the post office quietly and not alert the public. This is everything that happened. The following conversation is Colin Collins, and this is all the truth.
Cameron.
Hey Cameron, this is Noah Taylor. I was just calling to follow up. Hey, it's going well. I was wondering if there's been any progress or anything like that with the post office or.
Yeah, so I actually went out there yesterday. I'm in the process of dealing with the lease management for the place. But yeah, so I went in there. I saw where they had like some chipping on the tiles.
Yeah.
So I saw what they had as far as like some reporting, and they do have some surveys that they keep on hand. The chipping was minimal.
Yeah.
Which, I'm not going to say can't cause a problem, but has a very low risk. There were some sections, there was one section by the wall, looks like some termites, but at least the people there are saying that they have some termite damage, and looks like a chunk that was removed from the floor of the tile, where a contractor or somebody tried to peep in and look at the internal structure and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
So I had them cover that up with some duct tape for the time being.
Yeah.
Again, it's really, really low risk.
Okay.
But, definitely in the near future, it's going to need, either to be abated, or with asbestos, you can do an overlay on that floor.
Yeah. But
the problem is, looks like there's some tile that's kind of like, I don't know if it has water damage under, or I think there's 2 layers of tiles on that.
Yeah, there's 2 layers of floor.
Okay. So there's one of them, the top layer is pretty wavy. So I don't know. I mean, obviously it would take some serious work either way, whether they choose to abate it.
Yeah.
Or do an overlay. They would have to prep it. But that's kind of where we're at with that. I reviewed the clearances that you sent me this morning.
That
was kind of interesting. I've never seen anybody do clearing. Usually they do clearances whenever they do an abatement.
Okay.
But in a way, I think it's good that they did it prior.
Yeah.
Now there's a background.
Yeah. Yeah, my biggest thing was in going forward is I'm assuming like that the company, the property owner or whatever, I haven't heard anything back from them. I tried to move forward with helping do the floor the way that they, up to standard with an abatement team and everything else. But they sent me in there to pop those tiles up and do the floor, and they knew that there was asbestos, and they weren't even going to tell me if I didn't notice it. And they also sent other contractors in that worked on that place. So, like, that's not okay that they were doing that. And I'm upset, man. I got a family and stuff like that. And then when they find out that I follow the rules and let people know, like, due process and everything else, they fired me off the job, and I haven't heard anything back from them. I get ghosted, and now I don't have any kind of security that this isn't going to happen to somebody else that's maybe not.
Well, I don't think it is, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
I spoke with, let me get her name. So I met with Tamara Clemens while I was there.
Yeah.
And she walked with me, and I showed her, some things that were, could be a potential hazard in the future or a potential hazard now, depending on, where it was in the building.
Uh-huh.
But the main point that it was me and another asbestos coordinator for the state that we went over with her. Nobody is to do anything on that floor until a notification is sent. And we told her if they start pulling up the floor and you don't see a containment area, and we explained to her what that looks like, what an abatement team does, call us.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be correct.
Okay.
She's pretty concerned too.
Is she? Okay. Well, that's good. I felt like they didn't tell her what actually was going on. And I don't know. You heard that conversation that I had with her. If you listen to that tape, I couldn't tell if she was playing dumb or if she didn't know, but I don't think she knew, because she seemed like a really nice lady when I was in there. And I was just upset, man. It's like, you guys sent me out here twice to go do this. And when I tell you how to do it the right way, I don't ever hear back from you, and they didn't know it was me the second time because whoever their middleman was, they fired. So, I don't know. They're kind of, that's pretty corrupt if you ask me. So
let's see. They contracted you and they fired you, right?
Yeah. When I told the first time, so 7-8 months ago, when they contracted me, I went through the whole thing. I bid the job. And then I was like, wait, I got in and I was actually in the tile and stuff. And I never peeled anything back or anything like that. But I was going there. I was close to doing some VCT floor replacement on it. And then I was like, wait a second, this is an old building. We need to double check. And I told them the process, and I never heard back from them again when I told them, the testing. So then the next time when they contracted me, it was a different company that was their middleman maintenance company. And I got the call again because I'm one of the only BBB rated guys that's licensed and bonded and all that up there. And they called me. So I went back and I requested that they run those tests. I'm because I want to know. I want to know what's going on. I want to know, you guys didn't listen to me the first time, and I knew it was going to burn a bridge once I said something, but I don't really care. I just don't want somebody to get hurt and messed up. They were Tamara was trying to contract me for floor waxes and polishes in there as well. And every time you would run any kind of 175 machine on that VCT tile, it's going to kick all that stuff up in the air. And she wanted me to do that, and I'm and you guys knew that there was asbestos in the floor. So it's really kind of messed up. And so that's where I was at with it. I didn't know what we could do to make sure that it doesn't happen to somebody else. So.
Yeah. So usually, now we've just established. So this place is kind of an interesting case because, as far as the actual property goes, there's two different property owners.
Okay.
And then you have the USPS, which is kind of operates independently as far as the building.
Huh.
So it would be the USPS that would make any changes to this, and I think from emailing one of the contractors from USPS that's assigned to this facility. Actually, she said the facility was undergoing flooring repairs. Okay, I see it right here. They're going to provide an asbestos abatement and restoration proposal to finish the work.
Okay.
So that's the latest email that I just received that from her 4 hours ago.
Oh, okay. You don't know, is it a property management company up there, or are you saying that the USPS owns that building, or are they leasing it?
They technically don't own it. They lease it, but they have their own lease managers for that facility. The USPS does.
Okay.
And they're the ones that coordinate and handle that project.
They're involved. They're the ones that are responsible for all the upkeep and maintenance and all that other stuff.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting to know that they're starting to move forward, and they ghosted me again. All I did was do the right thing, and I called the right people and said what I needed to say. I had to kind of go nuclear on it and call you guys because they weren't listening. They fired me the last time when I told them that they needed to run testing, And so this is kind of where we're at, I guess, going forward. But I appreciate your help, and you let me know. And if you guys need anything from me, just let me know.
Okay. Well, no, I appreciate you calling.
All right.
If you have any more questions or just anything suspect in the future, just give us a call.
Absolutely.
Whenever
Yeah.
we can.
We appreciate you guys. All right. Have a good one, sir.
All right, you too.
All right. Bye-bye.